Monitoring and alerting on GCP. How can you monitor instances and generate an alert that's going to be sent to your Slack channel, your email, if certain conditions are met? For example, if your CPU usage is too high or if your disk is getting full. Be monitoring this VM. In order for it to export its logs to GCP monitoring, I need to curl this address so that I can download this .sh file and then execute it. Let me check if it's okay. And it's active. Now back to my console. If I duplicate this tab and I go to monitoring and dashboards, I'm going to scroll down to VM instances and I can see my master class VM. And I can see some basic metrics such as CPU utilization, memory, disk space. I want to create a notification channel. So for example, I'm going to be monitoring my VM, and if my CPU usage goes above 20%, I want to receive an email about it. I'm going to be using this file, notificationchannel.json. It's going to be of type email, and this is going to be the email address where my alerts are going to be sent to. And I'm going to run on my terminal gcloud alpha monitoring channels create channel content from file equals and my notification channel.json. This is going to create a notification channel that's going to send monitoring alerts to my email. It was created successfully, and take note of this channel. Now, if I go back to Google Cloud Console and I go to alerting, edit notification channels, and I scroll down, I can see that the email that I specified is a notification channel. I'm going to create my first policy. I want to be alerted. I want to receive an email every time my disk threshold exceeds 40%, and be sure to add your notification channel from the previous step. I'm going to run gcloud monitoring policies create policy from file equals and the name of my JSON file. I created an alert policy. Back to the console. So far, no incidents have triggered this rule, but let's test it. I'm going to create a huge file with sudo fellok-l 3 GB heavy payload.image. Now, if I run df-h, I can see that I'm using 63% of my disk. This should be enough to trigger my rule. Almost immediately, I receive an email on my inbox saying that this policy has been triggered. For my next test, I'm going to install Nginx. Now I've got to configure my config.yaml so that it exports Nginx logs to GCP log monitoring. And that's how I want it to look like, so that it can export Nginx logs to GCP. I'm going to restart my agent. Now, back to VS Code. That's going to be the policy that's going to alert and send me an email every time I get a 400 something or 500 something error on Nginx. This policy is going to be triggered for every 404, 403, 500, 502 error status. And I'm going to run gcloud monitoring policies create policy from file equals and the name of my file. The policy has been created successfully. Now I'm going to try to trigger it. If I visit my public IP on port 80, I go to the default Nginx page. If I try to visit /doesn't exist, I get a 404. And immediately I received on my notification channel, my email, an email about the policy being violated. Back to Google Cloud Console on alerting, you can see all the alerts that you're getting. I'm going to open this one on a new tab. And interesting, I can see a bunch of hackers actually trying to access files on my app. Like htpassword, backup.sql, dump.sql. So that's it. That's how you can create monitoring and alerting using native GCP tools to create policies and receive email or Slack notifications every time your policies are violated. And then you and your team can decide how to proceed with that.